Forget what you learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you, and disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. And when your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Well, we want to welcome you to another episode of At Odds.
Hello.
Recorded in the back room of the Doubleheader Barn Studio in the greater Lansing area in the great state of Michigan. In what country, Nate?
Argentina.
Argentina. Ah, yes. Today's show will be about Bob Costas, the sports announcer, and his gun culture comments both on Saturday Night Football and later to the press and to Bill O'Reilly. But before we do that...
Yeah, I just want to, the election's been over for a little while now.
There was an election?
There was an election. Several people were elected. Several people lost elections.
Anyone I knew?
Nobody.
Locally there were.
One person you knew, yeah, at least. No, Mitt Romney obviously lost the presidential election.
I didn't know him.
And he made, his infamous 47% comment, where he mentioned that 47%
You just can't let that go, can you?
Well, it's not me that's not letting it go. It's the media. But, he said that the 47% of the American people won't vote for him just because they're dependent on the government and they don't think the same way. And then after he lost, he made the comment that, part of why he lost was that people were looking for gifts. They voted for Obama because of the gifts that President Obama was going and the Democrats were going to give them. I know I echoed that. I said I completely agree with that. Rush Limbaugh went as far to call him Barack Claus and said that you're not going to vote against Santa Claus. So the general feeling, it was that vote. A lot of the people who vote Democrat voted for Barack Obama, voted for him because he was going to give them handouts. The welfare and extended unemployment, things like that. I have a clip here from a councilwoman. I didn't get her name. I should have. Councilwoman in Detroit.
Detroit.
Recently, who, as everybody knows, overwhelmingly votes Democrat in every election. Even if Democrats aren't running, they tend to vote Democrat.
Okay. Chicago, where Jesse Jackson Jr. he was running, I guess, but he wasn't really there. But he still got elected.
Yeah, yes, he did. He did get elected. Basically her comments that you're going to hear in a minute here kind of reinforce this whole gift remark, I think.
Okay.
After the election of Jimmy Carter, the Honorable Coleman Alexander Young, he went to Washington, D.C. He came back home with some bacon. Right. That's what you do. That's what you do. This is our people, in an overwhelming way, supported the re-election of this president, and there ought to be a quid pro quo, and you ought to exercise leadership on that. Of course, not just that, but why not?
But why not?
Quid pro quo for a vote, which I believe might be illegal. It might be illegal to sort of trade votes for money and things, but
I don't know about you, but I made about $2,000 on this election.
Did you?
Yeah,
that's not too bad.
No,
Romney has more money than that. I thought he would have went a little higher, but I guess not, huh?
Oh,
wait.
Who said it was Romney?
Oh, geez, yeah, Gary Johnson. Damn him.
Yeah, I know. Well, but that's politics.
The honorable whoever, after Jimmy Carter was elected, he went to D.C. and came home with some bacon, and she wants bacon.
Yeah,
I like bacon.
Bacon's good.
I didn't vote based on who was going to give me more bacon. Maybe I should have, but this is the sort of thing that it's exactly what Mitt Romney was talking about, what I was talking about, what Rush Limbaugh was talking about. These people voted the way they did, voted for Barack Obama because of the gifts, because of the bacon that they just assumed they were going to get.
Payback, baby.
It's exactly right. That's exactly right. And, I mean, man, I know it happens, but usually I haven't heard too many,
It's usually kind of quiet.
council members that come right out and complain. And she's complaining, which I think is kind of funny because it's like, well, where's
Where's
our
the
handout?
bacon?
Where's our handouts? You bailed Detroit out once. Why do it again? So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because this whole gift argument that's still going on. I saw articles today about Mitt Romney's 47% remark and how offensive it was, and it's like he lost.
But you're acting like this is some kind of surprise. This has been going on. I mean, George Washington talked about this. The people that were in the presidential home and asking for favors and wanting this and that, and presidents have complained about that since the first one.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised. I'm just pointing out that these are the same people that were complaining and demonized Mitt Romney for saying what he said about people exactly like this councilwoman, that they're there for a handout. They're not there for, a hand up, as they say.
And Obama phones.
They're Obama phones, which started
where's my money? Give me that Obama money.
But,
I know. All right. Good. You feel better now?
I feel a little better.
All right.
Obama they just recorded the Christmas party that they do every year. Conan O'Brien hosted it again, and he had some good musical talent, like the rapper Psy there, that South Korean, you know him?
Yes,
the Gangnam Style guy.
Yeah, and he apparently did some videos a few years ago before he knew what was going on about killing American soldiers and Americans and how he hated America and all that. And he's a South Korean. It's not like he's a North Korean. I mean, we've been pretty good to South Korea.
That's exactly the point. He is what he is because we've been there protecting them
and
for 60 years.
I know. And yet Barack let him come there. It was one thing. He was booked and everything. I understand that. But he didn't have to go up there and shake his hand and acknowledge him,
Right. He didn't. I didn't hear that he acknowledged him during his speech. He did acknowledge some of the other talent, and he didn't specifically name.
I read somewhere
Psy,
that he shook his hand.
Oh, he definitely shook his hand.
Yeah,
he shook his hand, said hi, met him, whatever. And I might too. As I push him off the stage or something.
I don't know.
But,
I mean, it's well, anyways.
Yeah, so I think that's set to air on like the 20th or 21st or something. It was just the recording session, but should be a good time. It's always good to see our president singing, because we've heard that before, and during the campaign we found out that Mitt Romney cannot sing at all.
Well, are Muslims allowed to sing?
I don't know. Are they?
I don't know. I was trying to make a funny there, but
I know, but I'm not gonna.
You're not going to go.
I'm not gonna fall for it.
All right. It is the season. This is a few weeks before Christmas. You got all your Christmas shopping done?
Do I?
Yeah. No, the other people in the room.
No, I don't. But you know what I'm banking on? It's
let's ask the producers at Superior Talk Network about if they've got. I'm talking to you, Nate.
You haven't. Oh, me?
Yeah. Did you?
I thought you meant the actual producers, but okay, because they were talking. But no, I'm not done with my Christmas shopping. But let me tell you what I'm banking on. It's late on December 10th right now.
That
means we have approximately 11 days.
If you wait till the 21st,
we have approximately 11 days before the end of the world
to see if you die or not. You're going to be really rushed.
And I'm banking on not having to buy presents.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that doesn't happen, but it'll save me some money if it does.
Hopefully it doesn't happen.
Yeah, the Mayan calendar ends on the 21st. That's 11 days, and it means absolutely nothing.
I'm taking bets.
Are you?
Yeah. Will the Earth end or will it not?
Yeah.
And I'm taking bets, and I'm betting that it.
I bet that's pretty heavily weighted. People voting that it will not, or betting that it will not.
Well, I'm just thinking. I want to pay out if it does end.
Yeah. Right. So you're going to bet that it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a safe bet because when it ends, I guess nobody will have the money.
I think it's the Mayans.
The Mayans they're coming back.
They're coming back on the spaceships.
They were smart enough to predict the end of the world, but not smart enough to survive. So that's an interesting little conundrum.
That's ridiculous. We're not going to spend time talking about the end of the world somewhere else.
I'll talk to you on the 22nd about it.
No, you won't.
We'll see.
No.
Well, let's get to Bob Costas on Sunday Night Football. I guess
well,
if you want to start with a little history of why this came up in the first place, if you have that.
Well, I don't really have a history of it. I just... not
necessarily history, why he was talking about guns in the first
apparently
place.
He was a Kansas City Chiefs player. Apparently, well, I guess it's good evidence. Killed his girlfriend and the mother of his child, recently born child.
Yep.
And then took his own life. Tragic. Any way you look at it.
Yeah, he actually shot her. And then drove to the training facility and talked to a couple of his coaches and thanked them, for giving him the opportunity and everything they've done for him. And then he got down on his knees and shot himself.
Made the sign of the cross and did it.
Yeah, and they just released video. I just saw it today. Earlier, like around 3:00 that morning, the police came up on a car and he was actually parked on the side of the road, sleeping in his car. And they went and woke him up, and he said, I was just looking. I know a girl here, but she wasn't home. And then he thanked the police and then went into her house. No one knows who the woman was, but that was 5 hours, I think, 5-6 hours before this happened.
Another woman or his girlfriend?
Don't know. It sounded, the report I read, it sounded like it was a different woman, but it didn't say that. And it said it was an unidentified woman. They don't know who it was.
Well, it's tragic whenever this happens, and this happens, from time to time. And what made this different is that he was a professional football player and in the limelight. And Bob Costas at halftime on Sunday Night Football, when the Chiefs were playing, made a minute and some second commentary on how evil guns are, and as viewers may or may not know, Nate and I are both gun owners and Second Amendment supporters.
Yeah, very big.
And along with millions and millions of other people in the country, and probably a large segment of NFL fans are people that at least own guns for hunting.
Fans and definitely the players. I don't have the clip, but I think Costas mentioned that Tony Dungy asks... the players, when he gets rostered down to 80, how many of them own guns? And then about 60 of them usually own guns. So.
Yeah. And so it's big with NFL players, and Costas talks a little bit about that. But the question was two things. One was it an appropriate venue to make a personal statement about his feelings on guns? Right. And, and his views were definitely somewhat anti-gun, any way you look at it. And then he spends the next couple days trying to explain what he said and just kind of digs deeper and deeper. And I think we have about 6 or 7 sound bites that we'll play throughout the show today and comment on it. But I think what we're going to do is play the actual comments he made at halftime. Do you have that?
I have that right here from halftime Sunday night. I think it was the Chiefs game, actually.
Yep.
Well, you knew it was coming. In the aftermath of...
I forgot. I want to mention, it's really ironic. God Bless America, or...
Star Spangled Banner?
Jeez. Yeah, God Bless America is playing in the background here.
Yeah. Well, you knew it was coming. In the aftermath of the nearly unfathomable events in Kansas City, that most mindless of sports cliches was heard yet again. Something like this really puts it all in perspective. Well, if so, that sort of perspective has a very short shelf life, since we will inevitably hear about the perspective we have supposedly again regained the next time ugly reality intrudes upon our games. Please, those who need tragedies to continually recalibrate their sense of proportion about sports would seem to have little hope of ever truly achieving perspective. You want some actual perspective on this? Well, a bit of it comes from the Kansas City-based writer Jason Whitlock, with whom I do not always agree, but who today said it so well that we may as well just